Also a very light dusting of my nutmeg. Hey guys, welcome to my kitchen. I'm Jamison and this is how I cook. I know what brought you here. You want to put a beautiful sweet potato pie on your Thanksgiving table with Thanksgiving just around the corner. So up next on This Is How I Cook, I'm going to share a recipe for sweet potato pie influenced by my Aunt Carrie, by my Mama Barbara, and I'm going to put my own little twist on it at the very end. You don't want to miss how to make Southern style sweet potato pie, elevated just a touch. Okay, so these are our ingredients. Before we get too far into this episode, do me a favor guys, hit that subscribe button and turn on those notifications. I would really appreciate your support in growing my channel. So we start off with sweet potatoes. This is 2 large-ish sweet potatoes, and I cut them up and boiled them already, so these are already fork tender. Then we've got our spices. We've got a little bit of vanilla extract here. We've got some cinnamon, we've got some nutmeg, we've got some brown sugar, we've got a pinch of salt that we're gonna add in, we've got some butter. I'm gonna show you something special to do with that. We've also got sweetened condensed milk, and we've got some flour to help make our sweet potato pie. Hey guys, before we get into the recipe, do me a favor and go ahead and preheat your oven according to the instructions for your pie shells. However your pie shells instruct you to prepare them, go ahead and do that now. Just follow the instructions on the packaging. So guys, once you finish preparing your pie shells, we're gonna set the oven to 375. So the first thing we need to do is we need to brown some butter. This is a little bit different spin than what my mom would do or my Aunt Carrie would do. But what we're gonna do is brown some butter. And the way you brown butter is you don't want to rush this process because you can burn your butter. You get you a stainless steel pan and you're gonna begin by letting the butter melt, and then you're gonna see that the milk solids will separate. And once those milk solids, the white parts or the lighter parts of the butter begin to turn brown, that is when your brown butter is complete. Once you start seeing the browning, that's when you wanna stop. The reason we use a stainless steel pan is so we can see the contrast of the pan from the butter, and we also can then see when the milk solids begin to brown. And once it starts, you'll smell a change in the butter, and at that point in time, you want to remove your pan from the heat. You don't want to burn this butter. And so I'm gonna keep it moving and keep those milk solids moving. And as I keep it moving, you'll begin to see that those milk solids will go from being a golden yellow color to becoming very brown. It's a beautiful example of the Maillard reaction at work. And so I've got a wooden spoon and I'll just keep on moving that butter around. And once you start getting those little foams, see how they change? That means all the water's out of the butter. And so now what we're gonna do is just make sure that we move this around so we can see when those milk solids begin to toast. And you can see it right there on the edge of the pan. That's our sign that our butter has become brown. And at this point, we want to stop and remove from the heat and keep it moving. And then you can see in here, when I slide this back, you see those brown bits in there? See that? That's our brown butter. So now that we've got this wonderful brown butter, we want to take all of this and pour it in here onto our potatoes. And you want all those brown bits that you work hard to produce. So I'm gonna start seasoning the potatoes with a little bit of brown sugar. This adds a little bit of sweetness and some of those molasses notes that we commonly associate with Southern sweet potato pie. Next, we're gonna come in here with some cinnamon. I wanna come in here with about half as much nutmeg. While I'm in here, let me go ahead and add a pinch of salt. This is kosher salt. A little bit vanilla extract. That's about 1/3 of a can of sweetened condensed milk. We're gonna drop in 2 eggs. So the next thing we wanna do is wanna mix up our sweet potatoes. And so we take this and I'm gonna set my mixer on low. And just give it a chance to beat everything up. And when you whip up sweet potatoes, you're gonna notice that those strings are on the mixing blades. And that's fine. You actually want that because that pulls that stringiness out of the potato and makes it a much smoother custard. So what I'm gonna do is take my blades and rinse them off to get rid of these strings. And then we're gonna add in our flour to finish up our pie filling. 1 tablespoon of flour. 2 tablespoons of flour. So now we want to scrape down the sides of our bowl. I wish you could smell how beautiful this pie filling smells. So at this point, I'm going to adjust not only the texture of my pie, but also the sweetness by using some more of this condensed milk. So now I'm at about 2/3 of a can. Okay, so we need to adjust the seasoning. So you saw that I added some more condensed milk, sweetened condensed milk to the pie. I'm going to just taste it to see if it needs anything else. Oh, that's really special. The only thing I might add in here is just a pinch more cinnamon. So we're gonna add a little bit more nutmeg in there as well to punch up that fall flavor. Then I'm gonna add a tap more vanilla extract. At this point, the batter is nice and smooth, so you don't need to turn the mixer back on. You just want to give this a good integration here by stirring your batter together. So at this point, you got a couple of options. You can add some more sugar to this, you can add some more of the spices to this, but me, I'm gonna let my pie rest. I'm done. I'm not gonna over season it, and I'm not gonna make it super sweet. You've got to also remember that when this pie cooks, all of those beautiful flavors are gonna concentrate as moisture leaves out the pie and as the pie congeals. So I'm gonna take my pie filling now and put it into my pie pan and put my pies into the oven. So before you overfill your pies, I like to just give them a little jiggle to see exactly how much more room I have. This will spread out the filling for the pie, and then that'll give you a good idea of exactly how much more room is left in the pie shell. Alexa, set a timer for 25 minutes.
25 minutes, starting now.
So guys, we're gonna cook those pies for about 25 minutes. I've got it on the top rack of my oven, and so we'll see exactly where they come out at. Sweet potato pie texture is one of those things that's up for debate, depending on who you talk to. We typically don't overcook our sweet potato pies. They have a very tender texture to them, very smooth and custardy. They don't really slice as much as they sort of are, mushy. So, but me, I kind of like my pie a little bit dunner than that. And so we're gonna let these go for about 25 minutes, and then we'll see exactly what the pies look like. Hey guys, we're back. I'm getting ready to plate up a slice of this sweet potato pie to show you what it looks like. Before I do that, I wanna make a topping to go on my sweet potato pie. And I'm gonna show you how easy that is to make with a little bit of whipped cream, some sugar, and a little bit of Amaretto. So we need some heavy whipping cream, a little bit of sugar, and finally we wanna add some Disaronno. One thing we gotta do now is just whisk this around. And when your whipped cream sticks to your beater, you're done. So now that we've got our whipped cream on top, I'm gonna come back with a dusting of my cinnamon, also a very light dusting of my nutmeg. Nutmeg can really overpower a baked good, so you don't want too much of it. Always my favorite part. And it's the hardest part of me because you're not here to taste it, but I gotta taste this sweet potato pie. Let's see, I'll start here with some of this Disaronno whipped cream. Y'all already know this is good. I'm just trying to brave myself to experience this goodness in front of y'all. Hold on. Oh. Oh. Normally I would start rushing to break down how this tastes for y'all, but hold on, one more bite, y'all. One more bite. Y'all, we're getting obviously the sweet potato pie. We're getting the brown butter. We're getting the cinnamon, the nutmeg, the brown sugar. You get a beautiful taste of, it's like a faint taste of creaminess from that condensed milk. The vanilla is shining. The whipped cream is amazing. Absolutely flawless sweet potato pie. Guys, I hope you make that for your family, your friends, and your loved ones for Thanksgiving. Happy Thanksgiving to each of you in your homes. Uncle Plug, Aunt Jeannie, that was amazing sweet potato pie. Corian and Case, so good. Y'all take care, man, and happy holidays, Merry Christmas, happy Thanksgiving, whatever you celebrate, just make sure you do it with love. You guys take care.